All right, y'all, we got chicken wings, big old bowl of blue cheese. We got some doggies. Y'all want to stick around for this because you want to see how to make this blue cheese. But for now, doggies gets a treat. There you go, Willie. Come here, pork chop. Here you go, pork chop. Good boys. Greetings and welcome to Cooking with Squirrel. If you're new here, I'm the squirrel. If you hear that, that's a dog tip-tapping around. We're trying out a new setup today. This is the setup I normally do for my cocktail videos, but we're gonna see how this works out doing with a burner over here, and if we don't like it, let me know. If you like it, also let me know. So we're gonna go straight into the cook. We're gonna make a bacon and blue cheese dressing. Blue cheese dressing is my favorite of all the dressings. Love blue cheese in all its forms, and addition of bacon and some thyme into it really ups it. So we don't want to cut bacon on our wooden cutting board. I'm gonna swap out for plastic here. And we're going to hone our blade because bacon is a little difficult to cut finely. And we'll take our thick cut, naturally smoked bacon, and we're going to cut it into what are known as lardons in the French world, but just little matchstick bits of bacon is what we're looking for. They will render down nicely. Pork chop smells the bacon. That sounds weird, but my dog's name is Pork Chop, and he's right down there sniffing around the bacons. A sharp knife and cold bacon will make this part very, very easy. I have one of those things. There we are. That's our bacon all cut up. Now we're going to go straight into a cold pan with our bacon because we want to render as much of the fat out of this as we can and make it nice and crispy. And then we're going to do one of my least favorite things in cooking. I'm going to pick some fresh thyme. Fresh thyme is delicious. I hate picking it, so the fact that I put it in this recipe will tell you how important it is to the recipe. Now, one of the tricks with thyme is that you have your little stems here. You can just pull down and strip the leaves off. We don't need to be super fine. And when you get to the tippy top, see that there, it's flippy floppy there. That will mince up pretty well and won't be bad on your palate. So you can just kind of toss that down and we'll mince it up later. Okay, that's our bacon. Kind of in the first phase, it's all sizzling. It's starting to go translucent, but it's not crispy or really just starting to take on some browning in a couple spots. Whiskey. It's how I get through picking thyme. All right, I got about 1.5 teaspoons there. We're gonna mince that. We don't need this super fine, but we wanna get through all those little tiny stems, the tender stems we left in. Look at our bacon here. We're getting mostly crispy. We have a little bit that still needs to render out, but we're getting pretty close. This will be done pretty shortly. Cha-na-na-da-da-da. Set it to the side for the moment. Crispy bits in there. We got maybe 1 or 2 teensy tiny spots that are not quite as far as I want them, but I also don't want to burn the stuff that's really close to done. So let's pull that. Got a paper towel lined plate. Go off the heat, and we'll scoop that out onto our paper towel. Go, and I'm gonna get most of this fat into a bowl over here. There's some glorious wings back here awaiting our blue cheese. So we'll get to those after the blue cheese dressing is made. Our bacon's cooled off, so we need to chop that. Got another plastic board there. I'm gonna get this onto that. Very, very crispy. There we go. So we just chop this to whatever size you like. I like mine fairly fine because I want his bacon kind of through everything. You could go bigger chunks. Carefully at first. I'm gonna get this started, but you don't go mad on it. That sounds lovely, doesn't it? And it's all right if some of it's kind of powdery. That'll kind of work through the whole sauce. You know, I don't want any big chunks. All right, this is our bacon pile. You can see some tiny bits, some not so tiny bits, but fairly even. So I'm good with that. There we go. Bacon to the side. let's start making a sauce. All right, so at this stage, everything's gonna go in the bowl except for our blue cheese and our garlic. We're gonna go into a big bowl with a half a cup of creme fraiche. You could also use sour cream if you can't find creme fraiche. Chef John has a recipe for this. If you want to check him out, I will leave a link up there. Half a cup of mayonnaise. I'm using Duke's. Use whatever you like. And half a cup of live cultured whole fat buttermilk. All right. There's our minced thyme. That's going in. 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Our chopped bacon. Black pepper to taste. I'm going to do a bunch. Half a teaspoon of Morton's kosher salt, 1/4 teaspoon of MSG. This gives it a really nice savory kick. You will enjoy it. Grated 1 clove of fresh garlic, microplane, right in. This will give you maximum garlic flavor. The more you burst up the cells in garlic, the stronger it is. So just 1 clove is plenty. Here we go. Gently at first, otherwise you'll sling stuff out of the bowl. And it's gonna look very loose at this stage. The next stage, we will basically beat up some of the blue cheese and it will thicken this a little bit. And this also thickens over time because the live cultures in the buttermilk will actually start to work. It'll basically turn the whole thing into creme fraiche a little bit. We are almost there. Now we have, this is a little over 1/4 pound of Roquefort blue cheese. I'm going to crumble this in by hand. This is a little warm because it's been sitting out, so some of it's gonna squish, which is fine because I need some of it to break up into the sauce itself. But I'm gonna break this into chunks. Get all that off. Don't worry, off camera, I'm gonna clean these fingies. So you can see we've got our crumbles. We're gonna mix this, and as you mix, you'll notice that it will thicken up. I generally want most of my blue cheese flavor into the sauce and a few chunks. My best friend Chris, however, who if you are a fan of the channel may know, I did 3 different recipes for him with blue cheese and green olives. Massive blue cheese fan. He likes big chunks in his sauce. And into this bowl. Oh, that is beautiful. Now I believe it's taste test time. So I have these lovely crispy wings here. I'm going to, I'm a big fan of paddles, aka flats. And a little bone side, not much meat. I won't stop. Don't worry about that. Choo! Now, this is the cool part. Pull the gristle off the end. Now I just have a giant meat sheath. We'll dip. Here we go. Awesome, awesome sauce. It's really savory, funky blue cheese, tangy, perfect accompaniment to a spicy wing of any type. It's great on, salads, vegetable dip, any of that kind of stuff. Fantastic. Don't throw these away if you have a dog. Those go for pork chop and willy. Dual-wheeled chicken flats. All right. So I really do appreciate y'all stopping by and checking out this recipe. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope you try it. If you have anything good or positive in your life, please try and pay it forward. Go out, do something nice for somebody today. Make the world a little bit better place. If you are interested in watching any more of my videos, you can check one out up here with this chicken wing. And if you're interested in checking out my food and philanthropy, also known as cause videos, check them out down here. I have a whole playlist of them down there. Thanks for stopping by.